Welcome, Johnny fans. Mark Lewandowski here with three of our great players from this past year's team, Peyton Podany, Baiden Bean, and Vincent Hillesheim. Vincent Hillesheim, all-tournament team. Baiden was honorable mention, all-conference. Peyton Podany was all-conference and on the all-tournament team. For those who are unaware, as we welcome in the alumni are going to be watching this, we're kind of in a review the season mode and talk about what's going to happen here in the off-season. And, I'm going to open it up, and we'll start with Baiden, since you are kind of the senior member, plus you're the point guard. You're used to running the show. First question to you, most satisfying thing that happened this year, either for you or for the team on the floor?
I mean, definitely just kind of midway through the year, just having that, we had a mid-season conversation with Pat that just kind of really helped us kind of see things through and understand we gotta switch things up. And kind of everything after that day changed us. And I just felt like we were such a different team on and off the court. And I mean, as a team wise, that's definitely one of my favorite things to kind of think about, just how we've changed and how people saw us from the start of the year to the end of the year. But then also, I mean, I got to hype up myself with the game-winning shot against Augsburg is probably my favorite moment this year as well. But
There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. What were some of the things that he talked about changing for the year, or what was going on?
it was not more of telling us what to do specifically, but more of whatever you're doing now, it's obviously not working. Just kind of if that was more film sessions. So we started film sessions with the coaches, and then we started film sessions at my house, having people over, getting everyone there, just making sure guys are knowing their scout when it comes to game time to save us a couple extra points. And just, I think that was definitely one of the huge changes to kind of sum up one of the things that was talked about in that conversation.
Vincent, do you feel that you had a greater season on the floor or in the weight room, or both? Because what you did in the weight room led, I think, to you being as good as you were on the floor.
Yeah, I think it's kind of hard to separate those two things because the weight room work was motivation for the season. Like it was all motivated by me wanting to play better basketball on the court. I look at it more as an aspect of what led me to play better on the court in the weight room.
And Baden, we'll talk about your development as well. I know you had a big session with Justin Rost. He was big, but I want to talk to Peyton a little bit. Peyton, you're coming in as a freshman. What were your expectations versus what transpired on the floor?
Honestly, going into the year, I had no idea what my role would look like. I know it's not extremely common for freshmen to come in right away and make a big impact, so I was just ready to accept whatever role was given to me. And kind of early on, I know I've mentioned this before, at the St. Cloud State scrimmage right before the season started. I started in that scrimmage and played pretty well, and kind of from that point on, I knew that I had a chance of having a big role on this team, and luckily it worked out, and we ended up finishing the season pretty well.
Baden, we visited after one of the games this year, and I talked about your role on the team, and you kind of enlightened me about how, and I had forgotten this, where your minutes fluctuated a little bit at the beginning of the year, and that was kind of probably more motivation for you.
Yeah.
But your year, I mean, you put on, 15, 20 pounds of muscle, and I don't think you really lost any of your quickness. In fact, I thought at times you were the quickest guy on the floor, regardless of opponent.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, like you said with J. Ross, the impact he made on me this past year just was unbelievable. He's such a great guy when it comes to being on the court in the weight room, or even outside of the weight room. Just before this, he leads a Bible study a lot of us college guys have been going to, and it's great having a leader like that who you can really talk about all sorts of issues or just problems, or even if it's not problems, just you kind of want to talk to the guy, and just how close he's been with us, and just him being the leader and role model that he's done has helped impact me more by being in the weight room more, wanting to see him more, and then even which is transferred into me lifting more. And then, I mean, it's just been fun kind of getting to know him and some of the other workers that have been in there too, and some of the other guys. So
Well, and his concern or his caring for your program is real. He's at almost every home game. I don't know if he missed one this year.
no, and his
Yeah.
kids are there too, which is even more fun that his family is just a part of the program, I feel like, as some of the other guys involved as well.
Vincent, I talked to Baiden a little bit about his favorite moment from the year, and he highlighted the game-winning shot against Augsburg, which was run on a perfectly designed play in the huddle, I might add. I don't think a lot of people, yes, obviously, that was how it was drawn up, and you and Peyton playing hot potato with the basketball, I think is. But anyway, Vincent, your favorite moment from the season 2025-2026?
Yeah, I definitely have a little bit of recency bias, but the Concordia game, just that whole atmosphere in Sexton Arena, it was good. That was really the first game that we've played in where it's been a packed house, and then specifically the dunk I had at the end of the game was definitely one of my favorites. Kind of put him out of striking distance.
Yeah, the dagger. You can call that the dagger dunk.
Okay.
Feel free. I mean, that's kind of what it was. It sealed
Mhm.
the deal, no doubt about that. Peyton, you had a lot of memorable moments this year, I would imagine. But is there one that you thinking about now, reflecting on from this season that stands out more than any other?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to kind of piggyback off of what Vinny said. That Concordia Moorhead game was it was an incredible atmosphere, and just seeing all the people who showed up throughout the year, and especially that day, it meant a lot to me, and it was a super cool environment. I remember even before I committed here, hearing that St. John's playoff environment was just phenomenal, and it surely didn't disappoint. Just as far as like a moment goes, maybe just kind of after the McAllister game, at McAllister, kind of after that game was kind of my first big performance, and after that game, I just felt my confidence level increase, and I knew that there's a lot that I could do to help this team in the playoffs and continue to take this team further.
You all three, or two of the three of you, talked about the Concordia game and the atmosphere. Do you feel that, I don't want to slight Johnny fans here, and we had some good crowds, but nothing like Concordia. You feel you kind of snuck up on people, or maybe they slept on the second half of the season you were having, Baiden, as a team?
I mean, yeah, like kind of the circle back to our conversation, I just felt like a lot of people just didn't really believe in us and kind of took it as more of a reset year. And I mean, those words will always live with me after the Oshkosh game when everyone was like, "Oh, you guys did better than I expected."
Oh, yeah, right.
Me and Pat, I mean, Pat told us our whole team, and just that conversation is it's not a compliment, and that was just motivation from there. But yeah.
Have you guys been in the gym at all since the loss to Gustavus? What has the offseason looked like so far?
Just a lot of kind of we just started open gyms today, but we have done 2 team lifts as of now, and tomorrow we have another open gym, and then a team lift Thursday to kind of wrap up before spring break comes up.
What about the awards banquet? Has that been scheduled, or the team postseason banquet? I mean, does Pat still do that? I don't.
Yeah,
Okay.
April 29th, I think, is
Uh,
the date.
okay.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure that's the date, but yeah,
Uh,
he's a planner. He's got everything ready.
Do you guys have exit meetings with him after the season? Vinny, why don't you go first and take that one? Have you guys started to have postseason? Because I know, there are different rules for meeting with you guys during the season and off season.
Yeah, we just started those this week. Like Baden said, we took a week to decompress, and then this week we started back with our lifts, and then yeah, our exit meetings with Pat. Each player meets individually with the 3 coaches, and it's a little more critical. It's the bare bones. What do you got to work on this off season, and just thinking all about next year, really.
Is it you individually with Pat, you individually with Danny, and then Fogs, or is it all three of the coaches in a roundtable discussion, kind of like what we're having here?
Yep, it's all 3 of them, and then you at the same time.
Okay. All right. And do they start juniors, sophomores, or does it just matter when you
It's
guys
whatever your schedule works, just when you can get in.
the off season this year will include an overseas trip. I don't know how much that has been talked about. Peyton, have you heard about it? Your thoughts on going overseas? I think were you guys headed to Germany, I think, to play some basketball and experience the culture of Germany?
Yeah, honestly, I don't know too much about it if I'm being completely honest. I know we got some practices coming up here, and I've heard that it's a good time in past years of the team trips that they've gone on in the summer. So I'm definitely really excited for it, and it'll be nice to just keep playing some basketball and keep playing together, and hopefully build some more chemistry before we head into the next season.
Baiden, what have you heard, or what do you? This for Baiden and Vinny. This is going to be like for Peyton, your first trip overseas, right? Because I think it's every 3 years. So you guys probably weren't part of the last trip.
Yeah, no, we weren't. We're excited. It's been talked about a lot, so kind of, especially since we first came in here, because we got at the short end of the stick with guys like Thomas Mencken that age kind of get lucky. They get to go twice when they're so he's a lucky guy right now. He doesn't understand it yet. No, it's definitely been something talked about for sure.
All right. What's the off season look like for you? I mean, you talked about lifts and it's such a structured season because you have practice, you have your classes. I mean, I know how much you guys enjoy January. That's also, I know, a favorite time of year where there's nobody on campus and you can focus pretty much on basketball and team bonding experiences, whether it's watching basketball at the NFL playoffs or going fishing or hanging out or whatever. But Baden, what's it like now? A big part of your curriculum at St. John's is basketball, practice, games, etc., lifts, like you said. What's it like now that you're a student, basically? That's number one.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we're taking classes number one. They always say classes first, then basketball. We might say that, but it might not be true. We're still getting it done in the classroom, but yeah, I mean, this off season just kind of just planning, just basically just playing as much basketball as I can with as many people as I can. I like to kind of get around the cities, stay at home. We run a lot at Hamlin and kind of doing my best, kind of just trying to build connections to just to kind of learn from other guys and I'm also trying to work my way to try and get into the Pro-Am this coming summer because I know guys like Kyle Johnson and Ryan Thiessen have played in that. And that's kind of been a goal of mine to get myself into there and just kind of see a new kind of piece of talent that I've never kind of gone against. But
So guys run at Hamlin? I didn't even know that. Okay. Is that
yeah,
MIC guys? I'll kind of know you.
yeah, it's a lot of MIC or MIAC guys, and then I know there's a good amount of Concordia St. Paul kids that kind of come by. I can't think of other Division II guys in the city, but I mean, there's a lot of guys from the NSIC who live in the cities, obviously, and come by and play. So it's kind of something me and Vinny have gone to for a few years now that have been passed on from other St. John's guys. Like Luke Budson was the one who introduced me to that. Was kind of one of my first meetings of him there. And now it's funny kind of being one of the small fish in the sea at the start of that. And now me and Vinny are kind of one of the main guys when it comes to pulling up to this and kind of
showing the guys the ropes.
Yeah, basically, to sum that up.
Vincent, what's your spring and summer going to look like? And I imagine you guys will be working maybe a little bit too.
Yeah, focusing on school, obviously, as we wrap things up in the classroom, and then a lot of the same as Baden, just get lifting every day and getting my shots up, and then finding different open gyms and pickup games that I can run in, and just keeping the tools sharp while working on what I can.
All right, Peyton, what are your thoughts on you've been through a whole season, and now it's kind of like now I am a full-time student, and what lies ahead for you this spring and summer?
Yeah, this summer was lucky to train with my girlfriend's trainer actually this past summer with a guy named Vince Greer, and he played at the Gophers and played in the NBA for a little while, and he definitely is a really solid trainer and helped me get a lot better over this past summer, and I plan to train with him a lot again this upcoming summer, so I'm excited about that for sure.
Wow, good, and maybe run at Hamlin with
Yeah,
Baden
yeah,
and Vincent.
yeah, absolutely.
Isn't there? I thought there was kind of a summer league for guys in the MIAC that played on Sundays or something like that.
Yeah.
I'd heard a rumor of that.
Yeah, over in Bloomington, I think it's kind of bounced around from Kennedy and Jefferson, but it's usually at one of those two locations. So I think we play about 8 games. I think that'll start mid-June, late June, somewhere around there. So yeah, that's always a fun time too, doing that as well, seeing guys from school that you haven't seen since the actual school year. So
Sure. Yeah. Well, gentlemen, thanks for joining me tonight, and appreciate the time, and good luck this spring and summer, and see you back in the fall. And looking forward to another season of Johnny basketball.
Thank you, Mark.
Vincent Hillesheim, Baiden Bean, and Peyton Podany joining us here on this podcast talking Johnny's basketball.